Hey boys and girls, Mr. Giomini wanted to come to you with a quick lesson or examples from lesson 11.3, solving equations with variables on both sides. Now we are dealing with variables that be on both sides of the equation, so we're going to try to get them all on one side. Let's take a look at our first example here. I kind of do this backwards. I'm actually going through the application piece first, and then I'll go through a little bit of practice, the modeling of how to do this skill. But in this application piece, you'll actually see the modeling of the skill as well. Members at a swim club pay $5 per lesson plus one-time membership fee of $60. Non-members pay $11 per lesson. How many lessons would both a member and non-member have to take to pay the same amount? We go back. So if I'm a member, so I have members and I have non-members. Now members pay $5 per lesson. I hear the word per and I think of times. Plus, so that's plus a one-time fee of $60. So they're paying $5 per lesson plus 60 bucks. Now we're trying to figure out how many lessons. So I'm going to call this L for lessons. Now, non-members pay $11. So non-members pay $11 per lesson. So that's $11 per lesson. How many lessons would both a member and non-member have to take to pay the same amount? I think of same, I think of equals. The way I'm going to set this up is I'm going to put members on one side and non-members on the other side of the equation. And they're going to equal the same amount. We have members pay, hey, it's $5 per lesson, and you're going to pay that one-time fee of $60. Now, a non-member is going to pay $11 per lesson. What I want to do now is get my variables on one side and my integers on the other. Well, in this case, I already have the 60 right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this 5L. I'm going to subtract 5L from both sides. So take it from here, take it from here. Subtract. Those are gone. I am now left with 60 is equal to 11L minus 5Ls. That gives me 6Ls. I will now divide both sides by 6 because I want to get rid of that 6, and that says times. The opposite of multiplying by 6 is divide by 6, and I have L is left with $10. Oops, not $10, 10 lessons, excuse me. So how many lessons would I have taken? So that's 10 lessons. Okay, 10 lessons. Again, I could check that by substituting it back in. 10 times 5, I believe, gives me 60, or 50. There's good math there, Mr. Jimmy. Put a 10 there. 5 times 10 gives me 50. Plus 60 is hopefully equal to whatever 11 times 10 is. I see this gives me 110. 11 times 10, because we're multiplying by a power of 10. We'll just add that 1 0 there. We have $110, or 110. So those check out. Let's take a look at two examples here. This one here, I just want to get things separated. I'm not going to solve it. I just want to get things separated. So I want to get variables on one side, integers on the other. Well, in this case, I have 6 plus 4/5 A equals 9/10 A. Well, I already have this group of A's over here, 9/10 of them. I might as well bring that over here. I'm not going to bring this over here and then that back. So I'm just going to actually leave the 6 where it's at, and here I'm going to subtract 4/5 A from both sides. So subtract 4/5 A from both sides. Now, this goes back to, and I forget, maybe chapter 3 or 4, when we started to add and subtract fractions. This just stays 6. Okay, now, first thing I notice, I don't have common denominators. I can't just say, hey, 9 minus 4 is 5, 10 minus 5 is 5. I need to find a common denominator. Well, good thing that I always look at the larger one, 10. Is 5 a factor of 10? Yes, so that means 10 is their least common multiple. This is already in tenths, so that'll just stay 9/10. What I multiply the 5 by to make it a 10, I times it by 2. I multiply the numerator by 2. 4 times 2 gives me 8. And again, I am subtracting this. 9 minus 8 is 1, and I have 1/10 A. If I wanted to take, so this is all that problem asked me to do, but let's say I want to take it a step further and actually solve for A. What I need to do next now is divide both sides by 1/10. So divide by 1/10, divide by 1/10. Now I'm going to write this over here because 6 divided by 1/10. Oh, wait a minute. I'm dividing by a fraction. It needs to multiply by its reciprocal or by its inverse. So that becomes 10 over 1. And I can make that 6 over 1. 6 times 10 is 60. So A is equal to 60, which makes complete sense because 1/10 of 60 is 6. Now, this one here I actually want to solve, kind of like I solved this one. I have 32 minus 3/8 y equals 3/4 y plus 5. Okay, what I'm going to do first is erase this stuff here just to give me some more room, because I always like to show my work. That way I can go back and check my steps. And then again, too, if I have a question in class and if I show my work, if I model it in class, you'll be able to see real quick if you have your work shown where you made your slip up. First thing I need to do, let's get the 5 over here. The reason why I do the 5 over here is because I see that if I bring the 3/4 over here, I have negatives. If I bring the 32 over there, I have negatives. I kind of like to stay away from negatives. I'm going to subtract 5 from this side, subtract 5 from this side. That's eliminated. I have 32 minus 5, I think, is 27. 27 minus 3/8 times y is equal to 3/4 times y. I am now going to get rid of the 3/8, so I will add 3/8 to both sides. Add 3/8 to both sides. Uh-oh, I have those fractions with different denominators. 27 just comes down. Okay, this is also y. I see that this is eighths, this is fourths. Their least common multiple would be 8. I'm going to make this into an 8. This is already 8, so I love it. Would I multiply 4 by 8? I multiply it by 2. 4 times 2 is 8. Multiply the numerator by 2. 3 times 2 is 6. So I have this equals 6 plus 3. The numerator is 6 plus 3. That gives me 9. That is 9/8 times y. I don't care about 9/8 of a y. I want to know what 1y is. What I do now is divide both sides by 9/8. Divide by 9/8. Now, when I see it written like this, I do better if I set it up like this. 27, and because I'm dividing and it's a fraction, I'm going to put 27 over 1 divided by 9/8. I am now going to take this and get the inverse or reciprocal of 9/8, so the 27 over 1 stays the same. Rotate that around, multiply it by 8/9. I like to do cross reduction. I see 1 and 8. Well, the common factor is 1. That doesn't help me at all. See 27, 9. Their common factor is 9. 9 goes into 9 once. 9 goes into 27 3 times. 3 times 8 is 24. So y is equal to 24. Hope this helps you out, guys. This is a tough lesson. Show your work. Be diligent. Continue to really persevere and push yourself. And I know you can do this. Take your time, though. It's not a rush. All right, take care.